Once again, I would like to welcome you. My name is Marcin Zachowicz. I am the Director of the Communication Office of Lotos Group. It is a pleasure for me to see you in this nice place in a very important time for Lotos Group, especially in terms of exploration and production. We will be talking today about Norwegian fields. I would like to welcome Mr. Olechowicz, the CEO of the group, and Mr. Zbigniew Paszkowicz, Vice President of the Management Board and President of the Management of Lotos Petroleum. Now I would like to ask Mr. President to start his presentation. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say that, firstly, I would like to say why we're here today, why we are on the stock exchange, because we are a company that is listed on the stock exchange, and the minister is with us today, because today's event is a very important event for two reasons. Firstly, the company, because of the reason that we'll be talking today, had some breaks, stoppings in production due to this fact, and I am responsible for part of that. And I was part of the management board that introduced the company to the stock exchange. Therefore, we would like to give the information here. And this event is very important for Lotos Group because we're speaking about the money that we spend for good reason, for a very reasonable project. But due to a small problem of the main operator, we suffered through some specific problems. And I would like to tell you why this event is so important for me personally, because I work in Lotos Group, and in a sense, I am responsible for the company's development. I went through two traumatic events. First one was when in 2008, when the crisis started. And we can say that some unfriendly powers tried to attack us, and our shares went down. But owing to a good communication and with the owner, we were able to go through the process safely, exit the difficult situation, and rebuild the position of the company. This trust has been working so far because more or less at the time when the project started, the attack wasn't very malicious and it wasn't really well prepared, but it was a very important event in the development history of the company, and it was the time when we risked an intensive, dynamic activity, exploration and production activity, and we bought some licenses in the field that seemed to be very attractive and good. Well, it is, but it was so badly managed that although the operator is representing a world-class operator, but it gave us a lot of problems, where it gave a lot of problems for Lotos company, not only for the exploration activity. But today the whole process has been cleaned up, and the Lotos Group in the program Effectiveness and Development will have many opportunities to speak about interesting projects. And having the experience with this project, I think we won't suffer from the same problems. And we have several years of development experience. The slide shows you shortly how many companies and advisors worked with us. And I can say that we are professional in managing difficult situations and crisis situations, but also we are able to succeed because we use professionals. Here we have companies that have supported us in completing this difficult process of leaving the problems behind us. And at the moment, I would like to thank all the colleagues for the fact that we were able to struggle today with the different stages of this development, of the process of leaving the difficult problem behind us. I will be speaking about it later on. So, because now we have just a executive summary now. Now I will tell you a few words about the history. It is worth mentioning that Lotos has been launched in 2003 as a new company based on the Gdańsk refinery. So in 2003, Lotos started its way on the capital market and then entered the stock exchange. In 2005, we purchased the South refineries licenses. We started building a vertical-oriented concern, starting from searching, exploring crude oil through processing to the placing the products on the markets. The philosophy was correct. In this model, we decided to develop the middle part, the refinery production, therefore the 10+ program. And here we made no mistakes. We had a project that was perfectly prepared and completed in time. It was perfectly managed, and I am very proud to say that it's the best refinery in terms of economy and effectiveness. It's the best in the world. That's what the Solomon's report says. It means that we have great people, professionals that can help us to develop, to complete new projects. At that time, we thought, how? Well, by completing slowly the 10+ project that we had to borrow the money for, then we thought how to start long-term construction of the basic sector that is recognized as the basic segment, which is exploration and production of crude oil. We started a company in the North Sea, which seemed the safest to us, and Norwegian shelf. Why Norwegian shelf? This is the reason here on the slide. Very good conditions, many interesting possibilities, opportunities, safe region. In 2007, we started a company, Lotos Norge. Then we had the opportunity to buy a deposit, a field that was supposed to become soon a production field. It was in 2008. Well, we decided that it was possible, and it was a very interesting step forward for the capital group's development. We bought 20%, 2 times 10% of licenses of interest in IMA, and this is when the process started. The process that we decided to stop in 2012. Here, the operator of the Talisman field wasn't really good in managing the project. It neglected the basic rules of managing the field, especially the people who were responsible for managing the field. leasing company that decided to build a rig, drilling rig. It was necessary to build the platform, several basic mistakes, locating it in a shipyard that has never produced any platforms, and a very bad supervision over this entrepreneur. A lot of works in the meantime. We've been engaged as a main shareholder, but we had nothing much to say because the operator had 60% of shares interests. So according to the Norwegian rules, we were participating in the process that showed that month by month the situation was deteriorating, and quarter by quarter it was even more deteriorating. Talisman, every quarter, Talisman showed us that it changes the date of launching the production. It was changed 11 times. Well, saying that it was irresponsible is not enough. Well, there was a lot of things going on around the project. In Talisman, first the head of Talisman left. The person that was responsible for the Norwegian shelf. And then last year, the president changed mainly due to the problems in the Norwegian Sea. The company that was used to build the platform was thought that for the first time in their life, thought that they could drill to produce the oil, crude oil, through platforms, through the rigs. Because the company was using other tools to produce the crude oil so far. In 2012, we decided that we cannot continue this process. Therefore, we decided to restructure the project and to find a way how to exit it in order to complete the strategy of 2015. It was a very difficult, complicated position because SBM company and Talisman, both companies submitted motions for arbitrage. So the lawyers spoke to each other what to do with the project. So we were not moving forward and the costs were accruing. So we decided to work with our partners and the main operator and SBM. We organized the first meeting during Poland-Germany Euro game in Gdańsk. The idea was found interesting. The CEOs came. We talked for a whole day. It didn't really work that much, but the right signals were given. And the signals were decisive and maybe not very nice to the operator and maybe SBM. Then we continued our pressure and the talks, conversations. And as a result, SBM and Talisman decided to sit with us and start the talks in December. And in March, we had the agreement. And as an effect, SBM paid $470 million of compensation that were paid to our account. And this money is going to be used for taking over the platform and removing it to a safe place so the SBM is able to do with the platform whatever they wish to do. And we have a we have a field for a further commercial use. Lotos decided to exit the project, so our position today is quite clear. We are waiting for the platform to be removed to cash 20% of interest for the best price. And we are not in a hurry. 2015, the platform will be removed, and we'll be ready with the talks that are underway. Then we decided to find a way of unblocking the tax money that have been froze on IME project. Therefore, we started talks on the markets in the Norwegian shelf, using also our advisors. We continued our talks. This was a very difficult process because the market knew about our situation, our pressure, that we are under pressure. As an effect of our activities, we will hear more in detail about them. Then, as an effect, we have a purchasing transaction for Heimdal field that solves our problem fully, according to the rule that the money that we will invest, one may say, they come in part from unblocked, unfrozen tranche. This is by the end of the year, it should be more than $80 million, and next year we will recover another 100 million. So it means that in 2014, the transaction will be fully recovered. And we will have financial resources that we will be able to use for other projects. Some information about exploration, production potential, you will hear about them soon. Well, we bought small amount of interest, but this field is working, and it's been managed by a platform that is owned by Statoil, which is supposed to be a very safe company. And gas production, 20% comes from this region. So 20% of the gas that is produced by Statoil on the Norwegian shelf comes from this field, and it's contracted to go to Germany. So the customers are quite serious. So the risk of purchasing this, of acquiring those licenses, is low. We did what we assumed we would do. The money is now unblocked. We have a development path for the exploration and production sector. Ladies and gentlemen, I am quite happy. I've been traveling a lot, so I'm a bit tired, but I am very happy. We have the best refinery in the world. This is a fact. It's not us saying, it's been proved by world-class service. It's a very good investment, complicated, difficult, but completed in a fantastic way. We weren't acquired, overtaken during the crisis time. This is the company that is very important in the organization of the country, that gives the national security in terms of energy. We know who owns us, and we know how to work with the owner. We trust the owner, and the owner trusts us, because without trust, the situation would be completely different with Lotos. We left the problem that started in 2008 in terms of IME project. Today, it represents the level that that the further process of works in the Norwegian shelf is a dynamic process of development. Lotos is, according to the program that we have presented this year at the beginning of the year, effectiveness and development, Lotos is on a very interesting curve of development. You will hear a lot of interesting things about the program, and this will be more important decisions and more interesting decisions than those that we speak about today. But since we had so much to do with the this little slowdown, therefore we decided to communicate about this event that gives us this leverage that allows us to take a deep breath and move forward. Thank you for your attention. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Minister. It is a pleasure for me, and during the second part of our presentation, to familiarize you with parameters of the transaction that frees our taxing tranche, about a strategy of Lotos, a company which is focusing on the exploration and production. Our partner, a very serious company with its seat in Great Britain. Today, it's producing 200,000 BOE per day. This is a very good potential. We've been following how the market is developing. So we noticed that at the beginning of the year, the company announced the update of the strategy. It was more interested in the North American market. On 15 April, there was a transaction made by Centrica for more than $1 billion. They bought the fields of hydrocarbons. And it was a north for us. It was a chance for us to use the Norwegian activity for our goals. We started negotiations that ended up with signing an agreement today. And the company, our partner, is a key supplier of gas, also gas for UK's households. They have more than 12 million customers, a great, good company, and professional negotiations that we have completed. We bought a package. We didn't buy one field. We bought package of fields, those that are in production phase, that are fields that are discovered, that are following the discovery. It's 31 million BOE, and we have a chance to complete exploration activities that can result in the future in the production. What is our part that we bought in the production phase? It's a volume of 9 million BOE. The fields that are proved and contingent reserves more than 30 million BOE, and where the seismic service show the possibility, the opportunity, the possibility is more than 100 million BOE. This is the basic rule for completing transactions in the upstream. We have a risk that is divided into different fields, because usually we can have some problems on a single field. But if we have a package, the risk of not obtaining the assumed effect is minimized. As you can see, 3 producing fields, they give 9 million BOE. The three fields here have the risk that is minimized. This is the first field veil, which is the 4.5 million BOE, and the prognosis is that the production will be continued by 2021. And the other two that give the other half of our production potential, it is assumed that they will be producing until 2017 at least. Let's see who is the operator. Operator is Total, Centrica. These are the most experienced key companies, key shareholders in the European market, including the Norwegian market. Under the fields that we purchased, you can have a look now at the field that is listed as Frigg and Reed, and the operators are Centrica and Total. We also have Fula field, where we obtain an opportunity to be an operator. This is a good way to become part of an elite companies that function on Norwegian market. It makes us, as the company that manages the development of the license. This is a very important element that gives us competences and opportunity to develop that has been planned by us. Under the transaction, we also buy a gas hub. Our share is 5%. It was one of the longest negotiated elements. This result that we talk about is a result of several months of negotiations. We wanted to buy a package that is tailor-made for us, and firstly and foremost, we want to unblock the tax money, and the IME money will be effectively coming back and will enable us to reinvest the money in Poland and in Norway. 5% of our share in gas hub in Heimdal. This is a result of the longest negotiations, and at the beginning, Centrica was expecting more. This is not the producing field. It's ended its producing opportunity and possibility, but the gas hub itself that we can see here on our slide is a center of distribution, of transmission of the gas that enables to export up to 20% of gas that is produced on the Norwegian shelf yearly. This is a very strategic object. This is offered by Statoil company, which is another comforting news. This is the opportunity to cooperate closely with the best companies in the industry and learn new things, new experience. Heimdal, this platform has been installed on the field in 1984, and in 2014 it is planned to modernize it, to modernize and renovate it, and the main goal is to enhance, to increase the importance of the platform. Statoil plans to add Valemon field, which is more than 30 billion cubic meters. Next year it will be added to the Heimdal platform, which will make it more important in terms of strategy. It will be strategically important, and we will be participating in this platform. These are the actions that aim at prolonging the life of the platform by 2013. Transaction highlights. So we pay for the package of fields. We pay $175.8 million. This is the acquisition cost. But using the right, the Norwegian taxing rules, when we buy the field during a year, then the production since the 1st of January, it is settled for the new owner. So the whole production from the acquired deposits fields, starting of 1st January 2013, it is settled for us, for our benefit. So the more than $80 million we are able to settle at the moment. When we were actually paying for the transaction, we paid just the part of the money. In December, we planned to close the transaction. Mr. President said that the transaction is conditional, but the condition is just one, because both parties have all the necessary corporation agreements. Both Centrica and Lotos have them. So the last part are the approvals of the Crude Oil and Energy Ministry and Ministry of Finance in Norway. This is a standard procedure that takes 6 up to 8 weeks. We are in contact with the ministry. We have heard that the closing of the process will take between 18 and 20 of December. This is at the moment when the decisions are given, the approvals are given, it will make the transaction closed and in force. The effects of the transactions. So we are unlocking by 2016. This is our settlement goal, to unlock 2/3 of the tax assets generated by IME projects. It is worth emphasizing that the Norwegian law does not require launching production in specific field. We have invested in IME field, but the tax settlement of the outlays, it is possible basing on the production of any field subject to a location on the Norwegian shelf. And therefore, exactly the package that we bought meets this requirement, so we can do this kind of unlocking and location. So the 2/3 of our tax assets will be unlocked by 2016. It gives us an opportunity that would like to use when we complete our strategy. So by monitoring the market, we would like to find some opportunities for one more transaction similar to this one, to enhance, to strengthen our production capabilities. These are our plans, our goals, and we have a competent and proved by a concrete specific effect internal team and team of advisors. That is a key thing in this industry. So we are able to competently analyze all the market opportunities and use the opportunities in the right places where the risk is minimum. And these are the parameters that have been met by the transaction with Centrica company, where we are diversifying our risks by accumulating production from different sources. We buy transactions. We have 3 sources functioning, 3 sources producing, and 3 sources that have potential doubling the production output. And Heimdall in the local language means new beginning. For us, after the experience that came with the IME project. This is also a new beginning. And the most symbolic new beginning is the fact that the main negotiator of this event, of this transaction, an hour before we started our meeting, he told us that he has a daughter. His daughter was just born. Her name is Carolina. It is also a symbol of a new beginning, and I believe Piotr Dąbek is listening to us. Piotr, thank you for your work. And since I am thanking now, I would like to thank the president of our Lotos Norge company, Mr. Gerhard. Please welcome Tor Herke Hetlang, our Norwegian partner, who's an employee of Norge company, who shares his experience and knowledge with us. Thank you so much. And we are proud that we have so strong, that our knowledge is so strong and our experience is so vast that enables us to complete our plans and goals. We talk about Norway a lot because of the activities that were aiming at ending IME. Today, we are saying that we closed this part of our history. From IME, we did not have any oil, crude oil, but we obtained a lot of experience, knowledge that are necessary for functioning on this difficult market, exploration and production market. And Poland, regardless of the concentration of our of us focusing on IME project, but the main area of our interest is Poland and especially the Baltic Sea, because the potential that is in the Baltic Sea is estimated to be 30 million tons of crude oil that we will reach. And in the near future, we want to complete this goal, obtain this goal. I am very happy that Mr. Minister, the main owner of our company, is with us. Beside the transaction on the Norwegian market, we have another good news. The B3 field that, according to current license, give us the right to produce crude oil in Baltic Sea by 2016. Owing to the perfect operation on the field, we already agreed with the Environment Ministry, and we hope that this license will be prolonged by the next 10 years, by 2026, and we will be effectively producing oil in the Baltic Sea, even more oil. And now I would like to confirm that it is my pleasure. It was my pleasure, together with my colleagues from the management board from Lotos, about initiating a new program. We talked about upstream, and our ambition is bringing back PG1 platform. It was implemented in the Baltic Sea. However, due to safety reasons, it has been switched off for 4 years. And we completed the modernization and started production that gave us the opportunity to increase the production in the Baltic Sea by 30%. This growth means that we are producing 4,000 barrels daily in the Baltic Sea. And this is the direction that we would like to follow consequently. Also, a month ago, together with President Grendovich, we have informed you that we are supported, that we have an understanding with peer company to effectively use B8 field in the Baltic Sea to start the production at the end of 2015. Potential 3.5 million ton, and yearly production output would be 250,000 tons. Gas fields. Before B6, we are cooperating with coal energy. We are confirming the potential. It is estimated that they might produce 4 billion cubic meters of gas, and it will be confirmed in the middle of the next year. We have a schedule ready, and we are following them. The seismic service purchasing new platform. We have 9 licenses in the Baltic Sea. Let's have a look at our works this year. The 6 licenses, the darker color, they have been covered by 3D service. In 2 licenses, the service have been completed, gas north and gas south. And the other 4, we are ending the negotiations. At the end of the year, we will have another specialist boat in Baltic Sea, and we will complete service in the Baltic Sea that will tell us where the drillings should be located exactly, and to confirm the potential that is there in the Baltic Sea. We are sure that the situation is exactly as it is pictured. We are buying the drilling rig, the one that we have at the moment. We are modernizing it, and we will locate it in the B8 because the water is deep down to 87 meters. And here, let's have a look. Our licenses give us a lot of areas that are deeper than 90 meters. There are operations at depths of 120 meters. So our specialists are now visiting different operations around the world to verify the platform availability, the platforms that can be used for 120 meters depth. So we can start the production at home in Poland. Exploration and production upstream segment. After we complete 10+ program that gave us in downstream the best refinery in the world, we are moving the competences, the knowledge and enthusiasm to complete another strategic goal that, according to the document that is in force for 2011-2015, is focusing, emphasizing upstream, and we would like to have our production potential increased to 1.2 million TOE. Together with Heimdall transaction, we will have more than 500,000 potential. We have 2 years to obtain the estimated level, which is 1.2 million tons. We have the competences, we have the professionalists, and what is the most important, we can dream, and we are able to fulfill those dreams. This is how, this is the pleasure of cooperating and working for Lotos. And we invited many advisors, partners to cooperate with us. And it is a pleasure for me to see some of them in our meeting, when it is a pleasure for us to inform you about such a, to give you such a good news. It is difficult to name everyone, but I can see here close to us, head of Societe Generale, our key business advisor. Krzysztof, if you could share your comments with us. Mr. Krzysztof Walenczak. Thank you so much. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate the whole Lotos group and Mr. President, and congratulate all the shareholders, because the reaction of the market yesterday and today, the reaction has been positive. It's more than 5% of growth for the company. So I'd like to congratulate the team and the owners of the company. Ladies and gentlemen, the transaction is very important because of the three reasons: the strategic dimension. It is very important in the completion of strategy announced by the Lotos company that assumes consequent and dynamic development in the upstream segment. Another aspect is the growth, increase of the value, unlocking the tax potential, and translates into some real assets. And the third aspect that I would like to mention, that hasn't been mentioned before, because the Lotos team is very too shy to mention it, is the human aspect, because completion of the negotiations that started in June 2012 and closing them and finalizing them in 2012, and then in the same year, according to the tax laws, this is a record for Poland, because it is very rare to find in Poland examples of such disciplined activity on such large scale, because the scale is great. I would like to congratulate, and I would like to say that it was a great job that you've done. 2013 is the end of a decade for Lotos Group. I would like to remind you about some key ventures. For the past 10 years, Lotos increased the revenues by 10 times. It became the second largest company in Poland and sixth in Central and Eastern Europe in terms of revenues. President Paszkowicz talked about new beginning and acquiring the field in Norway and unlocking the tax assets starts a new beginning. It marks a new beginning for the company. So the company becomes a competitive player among global companies. And I believe that the next 10 years for the Lotos Group will be as fruitful as those that have passed. And this is what I would like to wish you. And once again, I would like to congratulate the management board. Thank you so much for this kind words, ladies and gentlemen. This is all that we wanted to share with you today. I think that there is a lot of information that has been told already. My colleagues are here. You can talk to them, and I would also like to invite you to take part in a small lunch that we've prepared.